And like I think the biggest story that came out of it was Talor Gooch and the comments that he made. Him, Patrick Reed, and Dustin Johnson and Pat Perez were standing around, and I can't remember what the question he was. Just something about the atmosphere.
You were out there. Did you feel the energy of this crowd? It's unbelievable out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't played a Ryder Cup or President's Cup, but I can't imagine there's a whole hell of a lot of difference. I mean, this was as cool as it gets. We've been saying about it all week. Like, the energy is just, it's different. It's awesome.
And you could tell, you saw
DJ
Dustin
and Reed were like,
yeah.
like,
yeah, it was like, we have to be associated with that now. And like, that's where I think the biggest thing, and I don't know if it was Kyle Porter from CBS, but someone said like LIV Golf might overcome, the Saudi and Greg Norman. He's like, but they might not end up overcoming all the dumb shit that comes out of these players' mouths.
Here's my one thing. Do you think part of it is like some of these players are like inherently trolling? Like, no shit. I do not think he actually believes that. Now, whether or not when he said it, like, was he trolling or not, or is he going to... I just, like, part of it's like, man, a lot of people really are up and fuss about these things, so let's just steer into being the villains and making stupid comments and doing those things. Like, do you think part of it is that?
Yeah, I think it is, but like I think of like your traditional villains. It's like almost like Talor Gooch is trying to be like he's a wannabe villain, right?
Yeah.
And he was on a team like Perez was very outspoken. Obviously, Patrick Reed has his background of being that villain on the PGA Tour. So like when he said that, I was just like, all right, dude. Like to me, it was like he knows he's never going to be on a Ryder Cup now. He's never going to be on a President's Trophy. He already knows he's an outcast to all those guys that have had a history of being on the Ryder Cup or something along those lines. So, but at the same time too, like even if you're trolling, like to say something that stupid, I couldn't imagine anybody was that dumb to say something that stupid.
Well, yeah, and that's the funny thing, like we talked about before the show, is like he was also the guy who he was basically like, I was just trying to play in this event as a one-off to make some money and do everything, and I just truly didn't think the PGA Tour was going to suspend me. And like now he's like got nowhere else to play, so he's stuck with LIV, and which is fine. He's going to be able to play in the Open in a few weeks, but yeah, it's a weird situation with the whole thing. And that the comment itself, I've never been to. Have you been to a Ryder Cup?
No.
Okay, so I've never been, so I don't know what the atmosphere's like.
I've seen it on TV.
Yeah, I find it quite hard to believe, but I also think part of what LIV's done is like they play a lot of music, they get things loud. Like I think they're trying to make it seem like that, where like it's not organic. Where the Ryder Cup is very organic, it's natural. This is completely fixated, it's manipulated, and so like I don't know if I don't know if like that's what they're trying to create. Obviously, that's what they want us to see on TV, but it's just like, come on.
Yeah, I think the only thing and kind of what you're going on is like the only way to make it like that good is that if you treat it more like that stadium atmosphere. If you let the fans act like 16 at Waste Management, then I think you'd get all kinds of fans, especially like the non-traditional fans, I guess, like myself and guys that are just golf casuals. Like they'll go out there, drink, have a good time, and be loud. And if you're not getting yelled at for being loud or anything like that, then people are gonna have a ball. So,
yeah. Well, and you have those guys. They asked the question. I think it was an interview before everything started. It was with Carlos Ortiz, Dustin Johnson. I forget who the other one was. But it's the country club adjacent guys who are pretty funny. They go to tournaments and they basically just like make fun of anyone walking. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what they are, we'll try to reshare something that explains it. But they're basically like internet meme guys who like to ask stupid questions relating it to golf, and it's funny, it's comical, and it's really entertaining. But they got media credentials, and they asked Carlos Ortiz, what's it like to be financially set for life? And Carlos goes, well, why don't you ask DJ? But like, again, they're steering into this whole thing of like, it's more of a funny aspect thing. Yeah. And it's like, it's almost becoming a meme. Like, I almost think like LIV Golf is a meme now. Yeah. And I almost think that they should steer into that if they want this to be somewhat successful. But that's the problem, is they're still trying to attract different players. And so doing some of those things, I don't know how you're going to work in both. And then if I'm playing in these events and then going to try to compete in a major, like then you need to have some sort of tournament ready events too. So it's a crapshoot. I'm throwing out stupid ideas, probably like the LIV guys are anyways. Maybe they should be in the room or something. But you can't make that type of freaking comment. But again, what did it do? It created more conversation around LIV Golf and around this event. And any PR is good PR for them right now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So
and they're taking that kind of villain approach as it is too. So, you know, they ate it up, even though like all the golf snobs and all the, even like me sitting here on like this podcast, like it was just so dumb. And it's just like, and you know, Talor Gooch is smarter than that. So it's just like, it wasn't desperation, but it's almost like, all right, who can create the biggest buzz? It's almost like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some type of like PIP award with the LIV Golf, like kind of how the PGA Tour does. Like whoever can create the most buzz on our tour, like this year, like could be some added bonus there. Like we don't know. I don't know that.
I will say their social has gotten better in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just on following on Instagram and stuff. So I don't. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that there's something to that, or I mean, they're just paying a bunch of guys money, so you got to do these things.
Right.